Okay, so yesterday I released a video called Angry Fan Reviews Misfits X Series 12, in which I kind of detailed my opinions on X Series 12, the highs and the lows of X Series 12. The highs being, the Fox the G knockout, Joey Knight's knockout, Elle Brooks knockout, and how good that was. But then I went into a bit more detail, a bit more of a rant into why I think the Ed Matthews Pineda fight was stupid, why I think it was worthless, it meant nothing, it leads towards nothing, and I think it was an unnecessary fight to make and resulted in an unnecessary risk, which is Ed losing, which is exactly what happened. So first I want to start this video by paying my respect to Pineda, because I had a few comments saying that I was hating on Pineda, that I should be supporting Pineda and where he came from, and without a shadow of a doubt, I 100% support him. I have nothing but respect for the guy. To come from nothing, take the KSI fight on short notice, get beat up. He could have gone, been ridiculed, and never come back. But he came back as the mystery opponent. He came back in tag team twice, and now came back and fought B Dave, and now fought Ed Matthews. So I want to pay my respect. I want to say that I respect him as a fighter, respect him as a person, and I'm so glad that Misfits has given him a platform that he can showcase his skill, that he can go and make more money than he ever would have, and take it back to his family, take it back to his hometown. I'm nothing but happy for him. But with that said, my question is, what are they going to do with him? So I've kind of briefly gone over his history. Came in as a KSI backup opponent because Wasabi pulled out. The replacement fighter was some neo-Nazi person, so they had to scrap him, and Pineda came in on short notice. Lost the fight, didn't perform very well, came back as the mystery opponent initially against Face Temper, was replaced by B Dave and beat B Dave. Then went on to do 2 tag teams. 1-1 drew the other. So for that, I can kind of see like, okay, that was what he was there for. He was kind of there for, he's the gimmick fighter, the one that they bring in when they just don't really have anyone else, and they kind of, need someone to fill it in. The story of him as going in as the tag team, it was good. But to then give him a main event fight against Ed Matthews, now considering second main event fight for Pineda, considering, there's fighters out there that haven't had any, Salt Papi, Slim, they've given Pineda 2. So my thought is, why? That achieves nothing. As I went over my video yesterday, again, go check that out if you want to see my full thoughts on the Ed Matthews fight. That fight achieves nothing. If Ed loses, it's not really the most credible win, because unless he beats him better than KSI does, that's always the comparison, and they're always going to say, what have you achieved? You beat Pineda, who's a bit of a joke. Nothing. If Ed Matthews loses, Ed Matthews finished. He's going to have to take 1 or 2 fights to get back up to a main event fight, which, is he going to want to do that? Maybe against Ryan Taylor. That's it. But is he going to jump from losing to Pineda to jumping to a Deji fight, a main event fight? I really don't think so. I think, he's probably lost a bit of faith. He's lost a bit of stock as well. So now we get on to the winner. What happens with Pineda? He's won this fight. What's next? Do you put him against another pro boxer? Don't think so. No one's going to care for a Pineda versus another pro boxer fight. It's a nothing fight. No one really cares for it. You put him against another influencer. Depending on the influence itself, it's either going to be a bully fight and he's going to bully them, a bit like against Ed Matthews, or it's potentially a non-credible fight. Who does he fight that has a story? Who does he fight that leads on to something? And I think I have the answer. As much as I've been, talking down on him, saying, he doesn't have much of a future, I think I know what Misfits can do to take advantage of Pineda and potentially give him a really good storyline. So, this is who I think he should fight. I think that the next fight should go one of 2 ways, depending on how Misfits wants to play it. I think the end goal is to have Deji versus Wasabi rematch. That's my end goal. So my thought is have Alex Wasabi versus Pineda, a rematch for the tag team, because Wasabi knocked him down. That was a close fight. Arguably, Wasabi and Nick LMAO won. Arguably. So you do the rematch. Alex Wasabi versus Pineda. That's the fight to make. That's a top of the card, maybe even a co-main fight, because that leads on to winner gets Deji. So this leads on to two things. Either it tees up the perfect Alex Wasabi versus Deji rematch, which arguably Deji should be fighting for a chance to fight Wasabi again, because Wasabi beat him, but Deji is a bit of a bigger name at the moment, so Wasabi could fight to get up to fight Deji again. If Wasabi wins, that perfectly sets up Deji versus Wasabi 2. If Pineda wins, then Pineda versus Deji should be a good fight. Pineda's then proved that he can beat Wasabi, who beat Deji, so arguably Pineda could beat Deji, and then that could really bring Deji out, because then Deji's going to have a lot of pressure on him, A, to beat the person that beat him, and B, to live up to the stature, to the respect that KSI brought by beating him, knocking him down 4 or 5 times. Now, Pineda is a better fighter than when he fought KSI. There's no arguments about that. He can take better punches, he can throw better punches. You know, he doesn't run around and keep touching the back of his head. He's a better fighter now. So I think that is the path for Pineda. That is the only path that I can see where they can utilize Pineda to make some good matches that against people that will actually stand toe to toe with him, that he won't bully, that won't bully him. That is my thought. Now, as I said, you could go the other way, put Deji against Pineda, and the winner gets Wasabi, but I just don't think Wasabi's name holds that much to say that he's the next fight to make. I think it makes more sense having the Wasabi Pineda rematch for the tag team, and then the winner gets Deji. That is my thought. So again, I respect Misfits for giving him a platform. I respect Pineda for taking the fights and doing well in the fights. I respect him from coming back from the KSI loss, but I struggle to see where else he can go but this way. Like, you can't keep putting him against new fighters. You can't keep putting him against journeymen, because if he beats the journeyman, they're never going to step up to the next level. If he loses, then he's the jokes. Like, it's hard to put him in a position where they can utilize his skill, considering he doesn't have the lack of fame, the lack of clout that other fighters have. My last point is to stop putting him as the mystery opponent, because all that's going to do is keep letting fans down. In my opinion, I think they need to start branding him as a different kind of fighter, try and get him on the mic. I'm not sure, trying to get some more English into him so he can fight better. You know, maybe there's an opportunity to throw him on the Brazil card, just because I believe like the Mexican and Brazil language is fairly similar. They might have a bit more back and forth. I could be wrong there, but that's my thought. So let me know what you think of this in the comments. Please drop a like. Please subscribe, because like 98% of people that watch my videos don't subscribe, so I'd really appreciate a subscribe. I've just come back from a massive hiatus, and I'm trying to put more time and energy into this. So thank you for everyone that comments, thank you for everyone that likes, and thanks for everyone that subscribes. And yeah, you will see me soon. Thank you.